Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, this is Frizzy Lizzie Stitches, and today I have Flosstube number 28. Today is September the 14th, 2022, and I'm really excited for fall. And I pulled out when I got back, because it's been like 2 weeks and some change since my last video, and like more than half of that time I was visiting my family in Mississippi. But when I got back, I immediately found all my Halloween stuff and pulled it out. There's nothing behind me here that's Halloween because I don't have that much Halloween stuff. It's basically just like pillows and blankets on my bed and some pillowcases, and I have some stuff on our TV cabinet. I call it the mantle because that's just kind of how it's decorated, but it's definitely not a mantle. We don't have a fireplace, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, so got back from visiting my family. It was a really great time. I was there for 10 days. It was over Labor Day weekend. My sister came. She's in college, so she came for the weekend. Got to see the Dotsons, so lots of fun stuff. I did bring 2 cross-stitch projects with me, which are the 2 that I'm going to show you today, but I didn't really get to stitch a lot. I mean, I feel like I made a decent amount of progress on both of them, but definitely not as much as I probably would have if I wasn't traveling. So, but yeah. So the other reason too why I didn't stitch a lot, aside from the fact that I was spending time with my family, was my mom has some problem with her eye. She's, going to the doctor and it's getting better, but she's very light sensitive in that eye, so we spent a lot of time in the dark. And so I ended up playing Animal Crossing because that was kind of the only activity I brought with me that I could do in the dark. So because I brought stitching, Animal Crossing, and reading. So anyway, but yeah, let's see. So yeah, when I was flying over there, I guess I finished Messy Lives of Book People. I started and finished a book, and then I started a 3rd book. So I'm gonna talk about 2 of those today. At the end of this video, I am going to have another book segment. I got a lot of positive feedback from you guys for talking about books, so I'm just going to keep on doing that. Yeah, so I guess we can just go ahead and get into it. It's going to be a shorter video today because, like I said, I just have 2 projects. I'm not really buying anything right now, and you can kind of get a peek at what books we're going to do later. So, oh yeah, and I painted my nails. So yeah, okay, anyway, let's get into the stitching. Okay, so the first project I have to show you is Touch of Magic by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is what it looked like, or this is what it's going to look like, and this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you, and this is what it looks like now. So I am not completely done with, I guess this is part 4 maybe, where it says pumpkin. Let me get a little closer. So where it says pumpkin, carve the pumpkin, is part of the new part. And there's a ghost that goes underneath the purple P. But it's a really big ghost, and it's like all white stitching, kind of like full moon up here. It's probably even more white stitching than full moon. So it's gonna look cute. I just don't want to do it. Because it just is so big. But yeah, anyway, this is looking really cute. I just love how colorful and vibrant it is. But I believe after, I guess the end of this month will be the last part for stitching. And I feel like the actual last part of the stitch along is going to be instructions on how to finish this into a wall hanging, but I'm not quite sure. I could be totally wrong on that. But anyway. So that's what that's looking like. I worked on that for about 6.5 hours over the past couple weeks. So I actually don't want to fold it up quite yet because I got to take a picture of it. So that I'll have that picture to show you for next video. But yeah, okay, so that's Touch of Magic by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And I'm stitching it on everything that came in the kit that Caterpillar Cross Stitch gave me, so. Okay, so my next project is Haunted Library by Lola Cross Stitch. This is a stitch along that is actively happening right now. This is what it's going to look like. It has 4 parts out right now. Hold on. So this is Lola Cross Stitch Haunted Library. This is what it's going to look like. There's 4 parts out, prologue, chapters 1, 2, and 3. And this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. And this is what it looks like now. So this fabric is 36 count Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Queen Crepe Myrtle. And I'm doing all the floss as called for because it's DMC. And yeah, so I started this a little late, which is why my staircase is not filled in. But I am trying to keep up with the parts as they come out. So I'm gonna get closer here. I've got the haunted, or what is it? The Dead Librarian. That's what that part was called. She's holding her books. And then chapter 2 is buried in a book. So it was this skeleton reading a book with some floating books above him. And then the third part, or chapter 3 that just came out, is called like The Watcher on the Bookcase or something. And so I'm working on the bookcase, and then kind of in the middle right here is going to be a gargoyle. So it looks really cool so far. But I'm really enjoying 2 strands on 36 count. It's just like, it's very plush. And I really like the coverage that it gives. So, but this is like the only thing that I want to stitch on like for the rest of spooky season. But like I want to finish Touch of Magic, and I have a whole nother project kitted up that I want to start this year but haven't, and then there's my Halloween Quaker that I want to make good progress on, but this is just like taking over my stitchy life right now. So but yeah, I'm loving how this is turning out. But that's about it for stitching. I spent about 8 hours working on this over the past couple weeks. But yeah, so I have a lot of work to do with the, like, between the bookcase and the staircase. It's just a lot of kind of boring stitching, if you will, because it's like the same 3 colors and it's a lot of fill in, but it'll be worth it because it looks really cool. So alright, so now I have a little bit of haul to show you. I'll start with the kind of routine one first. I got my Color and Cotton September Thread Club. I believe I'm in the All Colors Club, but I really couldn't tell you. So anyway, I choose the 3 Skein Club. So these are the colors for the All Colors 3 Club or whatever. So we have Red Delicious, Bonfire, and Sugar Maple. So super fall and cozy, very cute. Yeah. And then my other haul that I have is actually more of a gift from my grandmother. Let me put this away. Okay, so while I was at home, I hung out with my grandma because she lives in the same neighborhood as my parents. And there's a quilt store over in Mississippi where I'm from, and my grandma wanted to go there to get like a different foot for her sewing machine so she could like serge on her sewing machine, but it's not really serging. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I was telling her how I really wanted to make a quilt, but I was like not prepared to buy fabric because fabric for quilting is kind of expensive. And so anyway, of course, being a grandma, she's like, oh, well, let me buy the fabric for you. And I was like, okay. Kind of forgetting that that's how grandmas are, at least my grandma. But anyway, so she bought me a fat quarter bundle and backing fabric for the quilt that I'm going to make. And yeah, so this is what the fabric looks like. I know it doesn't look like much because you can't really see all the patterns, but you can kind of see right here. This is the Alice in Wonderland collection from Tula Pink. I guess it's technically Free Spirit is the, I guess, company that distributes the fabric, but Tula Pink is the person who designed these patterns, and the collection is called Curiouser and Curiouser. But you can see right there is the red, or the Queen of Hearts, and then there's like, you know, the teacups. There's a couple different colors of the teacups in here. There's the Cheshire Cat, you can kind of see right there. And you can see a little bit of Alice right there. You can kind of see her freckles and her, like the side of her eye right there. But I just really love how bright and colorful these are. And I'm super excited to make this into a quilt. So I am going to be doing the Fat Quarter Hourglass Remix quilt that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch did a whole quilt series on. Because it seems like a very beginner friendly quilt, and she like walks you through how to do everything. And I also like the idea of using these fabrics for that pattern because it really shows off like the design on the fabrics, which is what I want to emphasize with these because they're so pretty. So she bought me, my grandma got me the Fat Quarter bundle, and then I picked out this for the backing. It's also from Tula Pink or Free Spirit. This is called like True Colors, and so this one is like a pink with orange polka dots, and even though it's not from the Alice collection, like I feel like it's gonna look really good together because they're the same colors. So, but yeah, so I'm excited to start that. Not sure when I will start it because I have another big project that I want to take care of first. It's a piece of furniture. Little side story, I guess. Bobby and I went out for a run like a couple weeks ago, and it was trash day, and somebody had put a like chest of drawers by the street that they were getting rid of, and it looked completely fine. And like the only thing missing was like one of the rails on one of the drawers, and I was like, Bobby, we can totally paint that and change the hardware and it would look perfect. So we took it, and we have not done anything with it yet. So mainly because I went out of town. So, but we did go to Lowe's yesterday to try to get rails to fix the one drawer. So I think our plan right now is just to fix the drawer and then use it as is until I do some more research on how I'm supposed to paint a dresser. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to tackle that first before I start doing a quilt, because I know that once I start the quilt, I'll just be like all into that and nothing else. So. Alright, so that's my haul. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about books. I'm going to keep with the same theme of what I just finished, what I'm reading now, and what I'm going to read next. So, yeah. Okay, so while I was traveling, I got a lot of reading done. Actually, like another preface to all this too. I started watching this girl on YouTube. Her name is Haley Pham. And she does she has 2 accounts, but her vlog channel is where she is basically a booktube situation. So I've been watching a lot of her videos, and she reads a lot. Like, I don't think she really has any other hobbies though, so I think like all the time that I spend cross-stitching, she's probably reading. But she reads pretty quickly, and she does these book vlogs, and they're just really fun to watch, and I like seeing how fast she reads stuff and kind of her thoughts on the books she reads. So anyway, I've been enjoying watching her books, or watching her videos about books. But anyway, so while I was flying, I started reading Circling Back to You by Julie Tieu. I still don't know how to say her name. But this was such a cute book. I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads because I just had such a good time reading this. It's super sweet. This is like, I thought it was going to be like a fake dating, but it really is like a friends to lovers. So anyway, Cadence is the main girl and Matt is the main boy, and they work at a realty office together. She's an analyst and he's a broker, and it's just really cute. They have a very playful like work relationship, kind of like like at one point in the book they are compared to Jim and Pam from The Office, and that's pretty accurate. So yeah, anyway, they're just super cute. They end up going on a business trip together, and you know, they check in, or like Matt checks in before Cadence does, and so they like give Cadence's room away, and so they end up in the same hotel room, even though it's like a suite, so they have their own rooms. And anyways, they're just put in constant situations of like getting exposed to each other outside of work, and like they've technically both been crushing on each other for a long time, and so like all that finally comes to fruition. It's just really cute. This was a book that I was sent for free from a giveaway that I won on Goodreads, so that's why it says uncorrected proof, which is funny because I really only noticed like 1 or 2 typos. Like one time Matt was spelled with 1 T instead of 2, but I don't really know how much is different from the actual copy. So anyway, this was a super cute book. Highly recommend for just like a lighthearted little cutesy rom-com. So alright, and then what I'm reading right now is very different vibe. I'm reading Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This time of year, I love reading spooky stuff. A couple years ago, I read The Shining by Stephen King. I feel like I'm pretty sure I watched the movie before I read the book, but for The Shining, the book was way better than the book. I mean, the book was way better than the movie. The movie's really good, but the book just makes everything make more sense. So I'm curious, this is also a movie. I'm curious to know if that's a similar trend. But anyway, this book is hefty. It's like 600 plus pages. I'm like 200 pages in. There's a comment in the front of this book which I think is very accurate. It says, Salem's Lot was and still is a hugely impressive novel. It's the slowest of slow burns, all hints and drip feed. When the chaos finally unfolds, it's a real payoff. This really is a slow burn. There's a lot of like storytelling and like building up to whatever's going to happen at the end. I've never seen the movie. I don't know anything about the storyline other than it's Stephen King and it's creepy. So yeah, but I've really been enjoying this. It generally the book is about an author named Ben Mears. He travels back to Jerusalem's Lot. That's why it's called Salem's Lot, because Jerusalem is like or Salem is like abbreviated of Jerusalem. That's why there's an apostrophe right there. So anyway, but he travels back to Jerusalem's Lot, and there's this house where something terrible happened, and it kind of like haunts the town, and like people go missing and stuff like that. So he came back to the town to kind of be inspired to write his next novel, and so there's just like a bunch of creepy things happening, and it's really good so far. So I'm really enjoying that. And then staying on the spooky train, when I'm done with that, my plan is to read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is a different cover than what I've seen. The other cover I saw looks like this. It kind of looks like a VHS tape, I guess, but anyway. But this one looks like a yearbook. It's actually kind of funny because like on the inside, like it actually looks like people wrote in it. So I'm just gonna read the back of the book briefly because obviously it's about somebody's exorcism, but that's about all I know. So it says, 1988, Charleston, South Carolina. High school sophomores Abby and Gretchen have been best friends since the 4th grade. But after an evening of skinny dipping goes disastrously wrong, Gretchen begins to act different. She's moody, she's irritable, and bizarre incidents keep happening whenever she's nearby. Abby's investigation leads her to some startling discoveries, and by the time their story reaches its terrifying conclusion, the fate of Abby and Gretchen will be determined by a single question. Is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? Like an unholy hybrid of Beaches and The Exorcist, My Best Friend's Exorcism blends teen angst, adolescent drama, unspeakable horrors, and a mix of 80s pop songs into a pulse-pounding supernatural thriller. So I'm very excited about this because it just sounds right up my alley. But yeah. So that's what I'm planning to read next. It's probably going to take me a while to get through Stephen King, though, because, like I said, it's like a 600 plus page book. So anyway, well, that's all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed your time here with me today. And I will see you again in 2 weeks with some more stitching and book updates. So, alright, well, that's all I have for you today. Hope you have a great day and spooky season, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye!